Good morning and Shabbat Shalom. Day 652. 93 weeks since the horrific massacre of October 7, where over 6,000 inhumane, barbaric, rapist, modern-day Nazis monsters infiltrated Israel and committed the worst massacre that Israel ever known, the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, and the worst massacre in modern history. They went from a community to a community, from house to a house, and slaughtered anyone in their way. They brutally raped the women. They tortured families, tortured parents in front of the children, and tortured children in front of the parents, and then they tied families together and burned them alive. Wherever they couldn't reach to, they just set the house on fire. And then they found the Nova Music Festival, to their surprise, and spent so much time there that it actually saved more lives in other areas of the country. That's according to experts. Brutally massacred the young people who showed up to this party just to dance for freedom, for peace. And then they kidnapped 251 people to the hell called Gaza, and are still holding till this day 50 hostages for 652 days. We are here every morning, never giving up, to demand from these inhumane, barbaric, rapist, modern-day Nazis, monsters, to surrender and let all 50 hostages go immediately, at once, in one phase, one bus. All of them together, no one is left behind, and Israel should give up nothing. Yesterday, President Trump was speaking in this event at the White House, and he claimed that 10 hostages very shortly will be released from Gaza. Why 10? Why not 50? Why not put the pressure down on Hamas to surrender and let all of them go? Why again are we allowing them to release just a few, only to then wait few more months, or I don't know for how long, until we will get to release more hostages? As a reminder, before October 7, Hamas have held hostages, some unalive hostages, for a decade. And then on another occasion with Gilad Shalit in the early 2000s, they held him for 4 years. We do not want this situation to repeat again. If we give Hamas what they want, they will commit more of these atrocities. They are so emboldened. They basically dictate everything that's happening. We are giving them this power. We demand all 50 hostages, not just 10, all of them, in the first day of ceasefire, if there will be a ceasefire. And if not, Israel must continue pressuring them, continue with full force in Gaza, and we don't give a fuck about a bad image anymore. Not anymore. The whole time we shouldn't have given a fuck about it. But we are done with this cycle of death and destruction, and our enemies devoting their whole resources and lives to try to annihilate us. And then the countries are supposed to stand for peace and stand for humanity, or organizations like the UN are busy condemning Israel instead of putting pressure where it belongs, on these monsters in Gaza, monsters in Syria, who are massacring Druze and Christians. While Israel is stepping out to defend them, Israel is being condemned. Stay out of it! Let them be massacred! That's what the UN basically tells Israel. But Israel doesn't give a fuck about a bad image. They will continue to defend minorities and do what is right, and continue to stand with good against evil. And we will continue to defend ourselves with whatever means necessary. And we will continue to live proudly in our ancestral homeland, Israel, between the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. Am Israel will always be. On this Shabbat, I want to wish continuous peaceful Shabbat, for the IDF soldiers to be safe, for the 50 hostages to either be rescued or released as soon as possible today, and for the Jewish nation, stay strong, resilient, and proud, and remember that we're never going anywhere. All of these hate and lies about us, they're never gonna be able to take us down. We are a strong nation, and we are an immortal nation. We will continue to stand proudly. Am Israel Chai forever, and Shabbat Shalom.